Okay, good afternoon everyone. We're here in support of the women of Afghanistan. Our organisation is 12OFive, but we are working with other women's organisations throughout the UK, everyone doing their own bit to object to the Taliban's team, the cricket team, that they deny are part of their representation, but we've seen them having dinner together, so we can only assume that the cricket team who want to play against England on the 26th of February actually represent the Taliban regime. They are now oppressing women in every area of their lives. Every single right that women would have in Afghanistan has been stripped from them, including the right to education, the right to freedom to speak to each other, to speak out in public, to read aloud in their own homes, even to have windows through which they can be seen. If the English cricket team play Afghanistan on the 26th of February, that's exactly what they endorse. They are saying, boycott! We need to ask the ECB to boycott Afghanistan v England, otherwise they are sanctioning the behaviour of the Taliban, and the Taliban know this. This is why they sent out so many trolls to shut us down. Every woman online who has objected to the cricket team of Taliban under the name of Afghanistan cricket team, every woman who has spoken up for the women of Afghanistan has been trolled with death threats, rape threats, general abuse, misogyny, lesbophobia, all sorts of different insults have been used, including defamation of character, slurs upon our families. All sorts of things are being used, saying that we're fake personas. They are trying everything. And that tells us what we need to know, which is that the Taliban desperately need England to play against their team, because it represents a validation. The international community are saying, okay, it's okay what you are doing to women. It's okay what you are doing in Afghanistan, because we will allow your sporting team to be okay, that we'll celebrate you, that if you win, that's great, if you lose, that's great. You're still on that world sporting stage. So any move by the ECB to boycott would be in support of the women of Afghanistan and against the men who oppress them. We've got some women here today who have quite a lot to say about that, including Arsa Parsi, who was really brutally shut down last week when she was the lone woman standing against men demanding their cricket. And for that she's been subject to endless and consistent abuse. So last week she was on her own, and today she's not on her own. The women of the UK are standing with her. And we will continue to do so, and we're hoping that these gatherings and offerings of support grow, and that women in Afghanistan can see that they're not alone and they are not silenced. We will speak with them, we will speak for them, and we will stand up for them. Thank you.
If you think you can't do anything to help women in Afghanistan, if you think you can't do anything to help women in Afghanistan, you're wrong. You can go to WRN Afghanistan and see what they want you to do. You can go to WDI Afghanistan and they can have your help in educating and furthering the wishes, hopes and dreams of girls and women in a united country. And there's Victory Afghanistan. They have a Twitter feed and they're looking for mentors, women like you with life experience who can help and support girls and women who are suffering this terrible oppression. And they're looking for teachers of English. So if you've got 4 hours a week you can spare to support women learning English, already I've heard some of them whose English is absolutely fabulous. then that's something you can do. And the more we stand up and say no, we're not accepting the Taliban, their sex apartheid, and the more that countries take out injunctions and arrest warrants on the International Criminal Court against Afghanistan's rulers, not an elected government, they're rulers, the Taliban, supported by Pakistan. And the more we say no ECB, English and Wales Cricket Board, no ICC, International Cricket Council, we should not be playing cricket or any damn sports with Afghanistan's teams, men's teams, because they're not obeying their own rules. We should be funding the women's cricket team from Afghanistan, who are now in exile in Australia. And they do nothing in support to these women who are dearly left behind. And they should be obeying their own rules, which is why we say a boycott is fully justified.
Yay! So last week, Arzo Parsi was the only woman brave enough to come and stand up against a load of male bullies. They've hassled her unrelentingly, and it's absolutely, we're not having it. Women are going to be here to stand alongside her and with all the women of Afghanistan. Can you imagine what it's like not to be able to go out by yourself, wear the clothes you want, sing, read, go to school, actually to do anything, to not even be seen outside your own home? None of us can imagine what that's like. And it breaks all of our hearts. That's why we're here. We need the women to just to see that we care, because they think the world has forgotten them. We haven't forgotten you. We're going to be here shouting, and we want to free Afghanistan.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, yeah, we will. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right here.
Hello, everyone. Do you hear me?
Yes!
Does the world hear me?
Yes!
No. Thank you very much for hearing me. But unfortunately, the world is totally silent about me.
Shame!
It's like the world has become deaf and blind about what is going on with women around the world.
That's right.
And then how is sports used in a political way to whitewash the crimes against humanity, against human rights, against basic human rights such as education? Can you imagine? It's more than 1,220 plus days in my country. One stone by the name Khorasan, the land of the rising sun, which is now called Afghanistan, which means the land of shouts, of sorrows, of asking for help, shouts of being victims of torture, to be killed, to recognize, to see and to feel gender apartheid with your bones. And then you flee war, you flee terrorism, you come here, you're called an immigrant, you're called a refugee, but you still live because you're here for a reason. Together gathering is not a coincidence. We were meant to come here for a reason. We have to come together. Otherwise, if we don't come together, if we do not become a solidarity about what's going on somewhere else, we will be the victims in here, like myself, being here on the 17th, being attacked, verbally attacked, called names, racially, ethnically, gender-based slurs. You know, if the police hadn't shouted on them, they would have beaten me up, and I don't know what else they would have done. Suppose I'm talking with you from the place I was before, just a couple of days. Look at there, Big Ben. Over there, House of Parliament. And here, in the land of democracy, where the human rights
in the core of the society. And I, someone as a counter-protester, got attacked here. I got attacked. This is an attack. This one is a totally inhuman act in a country of democracy. Now, I want you to think about it for 2 seconds, please. What if I was in Kabul? And these people who attack me, who were the supporters of Afghan cricket group, who by us, the woman, has been known as the Afghani's suicide squad. Because they are playing, showing the world everything is okay with women and with people in Afghanistan. It's not. The money that Trump said should stop, it has never reached the poor. It has been spent and looted by the terrorist regime of Taliban among themselves. Don't worry about the money being stopped in Afghanistan. It never reached the needy. But it was spent in terrorizing women, in defamation, in imprisonment, in raping and killing, in child molestation, in the religious madrasas. My country has got more than 60% of young people living in them. Where is the majority of young people at the moment? They're either in prisons, either dying in the borders, freezing to death, being killed and cut into pieces by the smugglers. At the moment, do you know what's happening to our young people? Rotting in the Turkish prisons. Do you know what's happening to our people? Being drowned in the channel waters. And then we come here, you give us a place to live, you accept us, you love us, you support us. But then what happens? Someone like me comes here and finds the majority on the other side to be the supporters of the Taliban. Shame. What are we gonna say? Please, ICC, ban and boycott the Taliban's Haqqani's suicide group, aka Afghan cricket group.
That's right.
This is a political team. This is whitewashing the crimes against human rights. This one is hiding the bloody hands of those who are killing our people every day. We are tired to tell you. I'm tired to tell you, having a loudspeaker in my hand. You have to start to wake up. You know, you have to feel the vibes. If you really want to live in a peaceful place like Britain, you really have to stand up for the women in the world. And in this matter today, boycott Afghan cricket for the sake of the humanity, for those women who are oppressed, who can't even look outside the windows. Can you imagine waking up, hearing the birds, people talking about sunshine? You can't even open your windows to say good morning to the world? What do they want to do with our imagination? Huh? What do they want to do with our imagination? To think like their flags, black and white? But there is no bureaucracy in their black and white. It is like literally whitewashing those crimes that they have committed, and we are still turning a blind eye. As long our meals are warm and our water is cold, who gives a damn about what's happening to my sister or to someone else's mother or to someone else's daughter back in there in a country with such a painful name called Afghanistan? So please come together and say, we are together with women around the world. We are together to be with women where cricket is used against them, to oppress them, to silence their voice, to kill the creativity, the art of love and being loved, the art beauty in their hearts and in their minds. But they failed. But they are still trying. Our job is to work together, to accept each other, to respect each other, no matter where we're from, no matter what we think about what other people think about ourselves. We have to embrace each other, stand together for a peaceful Britain, for a peaceful around the world, for a peaceful country called Afghanistan, which is known as the land of the rising sun, and the real name of Afghanistan was Khorasan. That even the Taliban have made that name to sound like a terrorist name. But that is the problem. We have to wake up. History has to be repeated, but this time with good words, good thoughts, and good deeds. Thank you very much. Sorry.
Don't apologize.
Yeah. My English is not that good.